We're in a refugee camp in Fallujah, but for all the world, these boys and girls look like any other children, playing carefree and going to class. And yet,
Who here has seen someone beheaded by a member of the Islamic State Group?
15 girls out of 30, first-hand witnesses to the brutality of the Islamic State Group. These children arrived at the camp 2 years ago with their mothers. The Islamic State Group may have been defeated, but they have stayed because their homes have been destroyed. NGOs in the camp now work with them to help overcome the trauma.
Yes, I saw people being killed. One day in front of me, by a barrier, they cut off a man's head with a sword. They stuck the head on the end of the sword and walked around the square like that. I see these memories all the time. They're always in my head, and I can't get rid of them.
They came to our house and took my uncle. I saw them drag him away. He was in the military and we haven't seen him in a year and a half.
Did they take your father too?
No, not my father.
They wore us out and starved us. They raised the price of flour on purpose so we couldn't afford it. They forbade us from going to school. They took everything from us.
UNICEF says 3 million children have had no access to education since 2014, and millions more were forced to go to Islamic State Group schools. Now they're being given catch-up classes by NGOs, and history, music, art, and science are back on the curriculum. But what's harder to correct is the violence and hate that still fills their minds.
How could I forgive them? They beheaded my father.
I hate them. They killed my father. They took my uncle. They took our homes. How could I forget? I hate them. When I'm older, I'll go and shoot my father's assassins.
There's just one psychologist for the 7,000 children here. Camps like these in the outlying suburbs don't figure highly on the Iraqi government's list of priorities. And some of the families here are also suspected of having supported the Islamic State Group. And yet, for the first time since 2014, these children are allowed to sing again. A symbol of hope for a generation on whom Iraq's future now rests.